Welcome back, grade 11s. Let's carry on with module 3.2, IT and the workplace. So let's scroll through this chapter and let's see what we can talk about. The costs and the benefit of computerizing. IT is not a magic wand. Simply deciding to computerize any business or part of a business or manufacturing process does not guarantee the success of every kind of improvement. You really have to plan out properly, and you have to have a really good understanding of how computerizing will get the job done and benefit. So let's take Westring as an example. We used to carry our books around with us. Now we don't. Now we all have tablets and we have ebooks. So we computerized that aspect of learning. Now, is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Has it helped increase the marks or not so? Depends who you ask. So computerizing something, adding technology to it, doesn't always make it better. And sometimes, it actually happens often in industry, it becomes a complete failure. They spend millions of rands on it, and then they have to abandon it after a year or two and go back to their old system, which is just bad for business. So when we computerize something, anything, it takes lots of planning, and we need to know exactly what we're doing. So here we can see computerizing on various different aspects. Here we have staff. You could reduce the number of people you employ to save costs and reduce the chance of human error. The staff you employ, the disadvantage of that would be the staff you employ to use your computerized systems needs higher skill levels. So you're removing some of the staff from your company and you're replacing them with computers. You're letting the computers do the job. But the computers do not think for themselves. They do not work on their own. You need the people who are remaining now also need to have the skills to work those computers, fix them. You guys know how much trouble you guys sometimes have logging into computers or with your tablets, etc. And so Westring, as an example, used to, back in the day when I was a student here, the IT teacher, my IT teacher, was the de facto IT lady. She was a lady, IT lady for the entire school, for everything. She did the servers, she did everything. That's not possible anymore. Now we have a separate person, Mr. Robinson. There's two Mr. Robinsons, but Mr. Robinson behind the secretary's office, his job is to work with SA SAMs. That used to be the IT or the CAT teacher's job. But that has now gotten big enough for one person to do. We need another person, and they need the skills to do that. The other Mr. Robinson is now the administrator. And we have two extra IT personnel with him just to help manage the IT, the computers throughout the school, the internet, the students' laptops and tablets, etc., etc. So we save money in one area, but we also spend more money in another area. And we need to plan properly to make sure that we're saving money in general rather than just spending it in a different place. All right, so read through the other ones. I'm not going to go through all of them. IT, the workplace and employment practices. What does IT bring to the workplace? Better record keeping and data storage, for sure. Instead of having a whole bunch of cupboards, we can have one database. You guys know how databases work now. Better communication and a virtual presence. Automation, right? Automation. Artificial intelligence and sensor-driven computing. This forms part of automation, where IT is able to make limited decisions on how to deal with situations within a certain set of rules. What effect does IT have on the workplace? So here we have a couple of jobs, and how does IT affect those jobs? So let's look at some that we are familiar with. Let's look at an accountant. Some of you might pursue accounting one day. Accountants need to track and trace money, budget and plan expenditure against income. Make sure that any business is operating at a profit or at least breaking even. Computerized tools make this process much faster and more accurate. It becomes easier to create what-if scenarios where you can see the effect of changing one number on the entire business model instead of manually having to redo the whole thing again. Those of you who do accounting, you do it by hand at school. If you want to take money out of this account, put it into that account, just as like a plan, let's see, maybe we can do this for the next year, you would have to redo everything else to make sure that they balance again, whereas a computer can do that on the spot for you. Teachers have access to far more multimedia teaching aids and have much more powerful sets of tools to create resources in the classroom. Okay, so here in the IT lab, I have access to all of your computers. So instead of using a projector sometimes, I might choose to rather project my screen directly onto your screen. So it saves your neck from having to turn the whole time, and you just have one thing to look at. That's just one example. Also, if I need help explaining a particular concept, I can just Google a video and let you guys watch it. The global village, working from anywhere. In the past, employers were limited to looking for staff who either lived close to their workplace or who were willing to move. The improved communication made possible by ICT has reduced the importance of physical presence at a specific place of work. Now, this has been true for a while, but in the midst of the COVID crisis that we've gone through, this has become far more prevalent. In fact, universities, those subjects, those courses that were always face-to-face without exception, have now moved completely to being online. Right? I have a couple of friends that are at university at the moment, and they tell me that they're now getting day jobs, like working at shops and things like that, because there's no day classes anymore. It's now all online, completely online. Okay. Right, so let's have a look. Telecommunicating. Telecommunicating happens when you use technology to allow yourself to work from home instead of actually being present at an office. Home office. Right, home office, mobile office, and virtual office. Let's learn the difference between these three things because they're not the same. Home office, freelancers, professionals, like therapists, small business owners, they may like to run their business or part of their business from their home. And so a home office is not taking a home and converting the whole place into an office. It's the home, it's the house that you live in. It's literally where you live and stay. But there's a specific room that you've cordoned off and you've made this your office. Right? So let's say but nobody else is allowed to enter that room. That room is just for work. A mobile office is when you travel around. So some people travel around. They need to go see clients. A lot of IT professionals have to do this. They have to go see their clients to see what computers they need, what they have, and to fix the problems. So they take their office with them. And that's usually, like in the past, it used to be a personal assistant in the form of a device. But these days, our smartphones are our personal assistants. So they take what they need with them, right, in a bag. Their laptop, they have a computer right there. Their cell phone, they have their cell phone right there to do whatever they need to do. Then we get to a virtual office. Now, a virtual office, let's see. Mobile office comes up short when you need to meet people. Okay, so let's say you're a freelancer, you have clients, but sometimes you need to meet with those clients. And you can't always meet with your client on their premises. Sometimes they need to come to you. But you don't have a home office, you have only your cell phone, your laptop on you, and you can't meet every single client at Mug and Bean every single time. Sometimes you need a quiet place just for you, but you also can't afford to hire out an office. So what we can do is you can rent part of a shared office space with a secretary, a reception desk, a meeting room, and obviously a address where deliveries can be made to you at a fraction of the cost of running a full-sized office. So this is about getting, meeting the middle way. This shared space is called a virtual office. Okay, so when you say virtual in this case, we're not talking about online. I know you might think that, but we're talking about a shared office space and you rent a part of it. It comes with a secretary, a reception room, you have a boardroom for meetings, and people can deliver things to you. Decentralized labor. Decentralized simply means that activities are not done from a specific central point. Modern communication technologies has made it possible for people to work from virtually anywhere instead of having to be tied to a specific location. So that ties in with outsourcing. Read through this, but I'll summarize it for you quickly, or give you an example at least. A lot of companies specialize at doing something. So let's say I specialize at my IT company, my IT business. I specialize in repairing computers and selling new computers to my clients. But what I do not specialize in is customer support, right? That's not my field of expertise and I'm not particularly good at it. So I can outsource another company to do that for me on my behalf. So when somebody phones my company's helpline, they will answer them saying, welcome to Mr. Kutier's IT company and everything, and they'll try and help them as much as they can. But that company might be from India, might be from another part of the world, outsourcing. Also, I might be able to get a company from India to outsource my part of, or this part of the company for cheaper than I might be able to do it here. So even if I can do it, maybe I can get somebody else from another country to do it cheaper for me. And so I might outsource to that country as well. Right, I think this is nearing the end of the chapter. IT-based careers, yeah, we have some different ones. Just know the difference between them. I think that is our chapter 3.2. So 3.3 is the last chapter in section 3, and we'll do that in another video.